Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Hallmark Heartbeats, a podcast all about Hallmark movies. I'm Camille.
I'm Brittany.
And today we are reviewing the fourth movie of the Spring Fling series of Hallmark movies, titled As Luck Would Have It, starring Joanna, Garcia, Swisher, and Alan Leech. I love this movie.
I loved it too. I would even venture to say I liked it more than Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure you would say that, but I would say that this is my new favorite of 2021. So
same here. I would probably say the same thing. I think that movie. I don't know why. Maybe
I loved every set. I don't know. You know, Joanna Swisher is not to say anything about any other actor, but she's a pretty veteran actor. She's so she's
Reba. She's currently right now in Sweet Magnolias.
So I mean, she's been doing this and doing it for bigger projects than Hallmark for a long time. So I think just there's some, and I love her already. I'm a huge fan. There's just something about her. She's so good. I love her.
And Alan Leech is, he's on Downton Abbey, and he's also on Oscar-winning movie. What's that called? Bohemian Rhapsody. So they're all great actors. And then, of course, Ireland.
Ireland was a character in itself, and it was amazing.
Make a movie in Ireland and pretty much everybody would be in love with the movie.
Right. Yeah, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I think I wrote in my notes, like, I need to go to Ireland now. I need to go.
Same here. Oh my God. I have never seen such a green place. The place is so green.
So green. And you're in Hawaii and you've never seen such a green place.
Well, here's the thing though. People think of Hawaii as beaches and green and waterfalls and stuff like that, but we also have desert area here too. And I assume Ireland is the same, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, when Hawaii, I guess people think the waters, the volcanoes, or they think the garden side of Hawaii. But yeah.
But here, Hawaii is, no offense to Hawaii. Hawaii is beautiful. We love Hawaii. But after living here for 20 years, you kind of get used to the beauty, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Joanna Garcia Swisher, she plays Lindsey Johnson, who works for a Crispin Group as sort of a hotel acquiring manager thing.
Yeah.
What they do is they go to different places all over the world to try to acquire land to build hotels or whatever. And her boss sent her to Killabbey, Ireland, because he wants to acquire the castle there. What is that castle called? Ballydonal Land. And a lot of the town council have already rejected previous offers for it. So they thought that since, Lindsey has a good reputation and stuff with stubborn folks, I guess, she might have better luck. Yeah. And then Alan Leech plays Brennan, who is part of the council. He takes care of the castle, it seems like. Even though the castle is supposed to be owned by the land, he's pretty much the keeper of the castle.
Yeah.
And stuff.
It seems like it's pretty important to the entire community, and he's just very community involved.
Yeah. There's a lot of history with the castle with and stuff. And so they didn't want to just get rid of the castle. They were doing this matchmaking festival, which they do every year, to raise money to repair the castle, because there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. Lights breaking, the handrails of the stairs or whatever is falling.
Yeah, it was falling down pretty good.
Yeah. So they needed the money to take care of this take care of the upkeep. But the upkeep of the castle costs more money every year. And the matchmaking festival isn't bringing enough money to take care of the castle or whatever. Anyway, that's why Crispin Group kind of wants to buy the land so that they can build a hotel. It's supposed to take care of the community or whatever, give back money to the community. The council does not want to budge at all.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun. Go ahead.
Pretty not open to it when she comes in the beginning.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the guy, I don't know whether he was trying, Alroy, whether or not he was really trying, whether he had all those presentations first, the town usuals first, or he was adding on to that stuff to delay the girl presenting.
I mean, he didn't seem that manipulative. He seemed like they just have a lot of stuff, and that's the way they do it, is they go through everything else first. And I think that was just purely just to show that they're in their ways. They get through the other agendas before they get any kind of presentation. They're stuck in their ways.
But the poor girl didn't even have a chance. So she goes to start presenting, and it barely she barely went through the 5 minutes of presenting before the elders were like, no, we're done. You're done. You're not they do have a point though. How can she claim to love this land, be part of this land or whatever, and want to build this land and respect this land or whatever, and just got off the plane without really exploring Ireland, exploring the community that, the hotel is going to be part of, kind of thing.
Yeah, they were absolutely correct in that.
Yep. And because of that, that's when Lindsey decided to take up Alroy's advice and join the matchmaking festival. So
yeah,
and
I love I seriously adore Joanna, but I will watch any movie with accents. If they all have accents, I will watch it. They had the Irish accents, and I was like, oh, I love this. And then in comes the Australian girls, and I'm like, more accents.
I know. I mean, I absolutely love the movie and all the accents and all the people, and the setting is just gorgeous. So anyway, she was only supposed to be there for a couple of days to make the presentation or whatever, but because she ended up joining the matchmaking festival, she stayed for a lot longer. And I love the matchmaking festival. Do we have anything like that here in the States? Where do I join?
I don't know, but that was great.
I know, but it's actually based on a real matchmaking festival that happens in Lister, Ireland, which is the other side of which is the other side of the country as Killabbey. Is loosely based on the matchmaking festival over there. So,
well, I'm already married, so
I know, right? But hey,
I'd love to go, but I'm married.
Us single girls could go over there. I'd like to meet an Irish man, an Irish fella,
right?
Yeah. But anyway,
they weren't very nice during the festival. And she was making this effort to be like, yeah, you're right, I'm going to try to be a part of this. And he was like, she's not doing it for the right reasons. Yes, she is. Those are the right reasons. Yes, she wants to make an acquisition of it, but she is trying to learn more about you guys before making this acquisition.
I know. I guess what he meant by she stopped doing it for the right reason. Well, matchmaking festival is supposed to be about matchmaking. She's not there to look for love. She's looking.
I know, but she is making an effort to be a part of their, community. But I did have an issue with the whole cutting butter, and she brought the pastry thing, and she was like, "Well, a fork would work." Let me tell you something. Cutting butter with a fork is not ideal. It will work, but it is not ideal. Like, sure, congratulations, you guys do it with the fork, but that makes so much more work. It's so hard to cut butter with forks. Like, you could do it. I've done it with forks, but I mean, I don't think that was a reason to be mean to her because she used a pastry cutter. I use a pastry cutter. Sorry, my grandma would not have looked down on me. She would have thought it was fine.
And then Brennan comes in there with a whole bunch of salt and pours it on her soda bread.
I know. What the heck? That was not nice.
Poor girl when she ate the bread.
Yeah, she was not having fun. And then when they all talked about it later, when they were all talking about how she was doing, they were all laughing about him putting the salt in it. And then someone was like, "Well, at least she's trying. She's doing all these things, Yeah,
the lady who was teaching the knitting, she was like, "I felt so bad for her. I actually wanted to go help her." I'm like, "Why did you?" I mean, I understand you were trying to sabotage everything, but the poor girl was trying.
Yeah. The whole time I was really upset with we'll talk about this part later, but the fact that they wanted to tear down this beautiful castle really, really upset me. So yeah, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So anyway, the other stuff that they did during the festival was hurling. I didn't understand the rules of that. And I honestly think that what's his name? Brennan kept changing the rules just so that.
They were having fun.
I just love the chemistry. And then they also had, which Alma was supposed to do, but she signed class anyway for that. But he double booked. So he changed to, what is that called? She signed up to instead with Brennan's father.
The cooking class.
Yeah. So I have a question for you since you're the cook. But she was peeling the knife with what looked like peeling the carrots with what looked like the biggest knife on earth.
I mean,
I was thinking to myself, that looks so dangerous. I was scared she was going to cut a finger.
Yeah, she was using a chef's knife, but if you know what you're doing, you could easily peel a carrot with a chef's knife. I could do it. But if you don't know what you're doing, you should probably be using a paring knife, or something small, like a utility knife or something. Yeah, I don't know what she was doing with that big knife, and she knew nothing about cooking. Well, you bought a pastry cutter. You didn't bring a peeler.
I mean, she admitted that she only cooks using a microwave, and she's sitting there with this huge ass knife. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, somebody give the girl a peeler or something smaller than that, because I was terrified that the Irish stew would become bloody fingers too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are scared of chef knives, but I mean, honestly, not in this situation, but in most situations, using a big knife, sometimes you have actual better control than if you were just using a small knife. But
really,
people are afraid of them. But I mean, you can have better control. You have a better handle, better grips on it. If you know how to use the knife. I only use big knives. I almost never, I cut strawberries with a chef's knife like that. I pretty much only use my chef's knife. But I know what I'm doing with the knife, so.
Yeah, the girl didn't know what she was doing with the knife, though.
No, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what, are you going to peel the whole, are you just going to, she's cutting half of the carrot off.
Oh my God. But Brennan,
you know what's funny is we loved Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and it had activities, and this also had activities. Maybe we also like movies with activities.
Yes. not just going to town and making a brand new, meeting an ex-boyfriend or something kind of thing. I want like activities and fun and adventure and visiting places that I've never been to.
Well, I mean, this isn't one of our public podcasts, but when we did October Kiss, they had a lot of Halloween events and things like that. Yeah. We loved that as well.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, she did. Yeah. So, and then also throughout the movie, we find out that Brennan is also a whiskey maker. So that seems cool. But he wants to keep it small, very local. He wasn't part of even though a lot of companies had offered him to, just make it bigger or whatever, he has rejected all of them. So he's very local minded, and I mean, I get that. It's very much like it's very much Luke Steiner over here. He doesn't really want to expand. He's got his place, and that's it. Yep. So some of the things that they did was they had a little party. They call it a Kelly. Kelly. I am gonna screw up Irish words.
I don't think anyone expects you to get them all right.
This is the first time ever that I actually learned how to say the name Aoife. I've seen it spelled. I've seen it several times, but I've never figured out for the life of me how to say it. Okay, I always said it was like Aoife. What the heck is that?
Yeah.
And so but the lady's name was Aoife. I was like, oh, so that's how you say it. Wait, how do you get Aoife from that spelling?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because in my mind, I'm like Aoife, wife. I have no idea. But yeah, the Irish names and Irish spellings and stuff, like they threw in a lot of Irish sayings in the movie, and I can't catch any of it as far as spelling or how they said it, but yay. Yeah. Anyway, they had a Kelly,
whatever
Kelly,
it is, yeah.
Where they had a little dancing party, and I thought that was cute.
I thought that was super cute. I loved the dancing. I love that she's just willing to get in there and just have fun and just immerse herself in that local culture. You know what I mean?
She was so unperturbed by like everybody else's reactions to her. She's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like totally win the town over. And I'm going to like have fun while doing it. And she said also, in the movie that she's usually there just for the beginning to acquire the land. She's not there most of the time to do the whole process of watching it being built and watching it to the end or whatever. So this is like, whenever she goes out to travel to these places, she doesn't have time to sightsee, which really sucks. I mean, can you imagine going to Paris and not even going to see the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre or anything like that? It's always
that would be awful.
It would be like just you're there in the most beautiful places in the world, and you don't even get a chance to see it. That just sucks. Yeah. So So I think that's why not only was she there to like enjoy the activity so she can immerse herself in the culture, but because she wanted to. This was her chance to actually see the place that she, was acquiring the land for and enjoying it.
And I mean, they established pretty early on that her grandmother was Irish. Came from Ireland, and not just Irish. She lived in Ireland. She was born there and lived there before she moved back to the States. I mean, moved to the States. And she even wore her grandmother's ring. So
a doll ring. I actually have one.
Oh, really?
I have one. It's in my bathroom. But the very first time I heard of the Claudel ring, I was like 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah, I heard of it when my mother's family is Irish. The O'Haleys. So yeah, I've heard of them before. I don't have one, but I know what they are.
I've heard of it from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was the very first time I've ever heard of it. Because Angel gave Buffy a Claudel ring, and he told her about the symbolism of the ring, the heart meaning love, for hands meaning friendship, and a crown meaning loyalty. He always, the way I understood it is, if the crown is facing outwards, that means that you're taken. If the crown is facing inwards, if the crown is facing inwards, that means you're taken. And then if the crown is facing outwards, that means that you're single. But yeah, I've always loved the ring. I always look for it everywhere. But I have a small one that I've had for like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I always loved the design of the Claudel ring. And also I found out that in Ireland, there's like, in some weddings, they use the hands as the wedding band. So when they say the vows or whatever, they put the two hands together, and that will be the wedding ring. So it's all different things.
I'm sure there's a lot of traditions with it. Yeah.
But yeah, I Googled it pretty much. I'm obsessed with Claudel rings. But I talk about her grandmother. That was so what's her name? Brennan took her to see where her grandmother's house was, where it was supposed to stand and stuff. I got really emotional when she started crying too, when because the house was no longer standing or whatever. But that's beautiful. Can you imagine going to the place where your family, is from and being in the land that they're at, that's gotta be meaningful. And that was one of my favorites, that he took her there to see his grandma. To see her grandmother's place or whatever. And then I don't know whether Alroy was the one who tried to hook her up with the mulch guy. I know it was a coincidence, but that's also that was the funniest thing, was when the guy just kept talking about dirt.
Yeah, well, he liked it. It was his passion. Let him have his passion.
Oh my god! I get it. That's your job, but do you want to really be known as the mulch guy?
Maybe there's a mulch girl out there for him.
He did. Yeah, he did find his mulch girl. So
yeah,
it just wasn't Lindsey, and it was so cute because when they did the speed dating thing, he was going to be the next guy that she was going to speed date. So they rushed out of there so quick.
Right.
Oh my god, I feel so bad.
And he purposely tried to be the next one with the speed date. He didn't get in line. He was like,
no, he did not. He did. He cut in line. He told the guy to move. Oh my god, that's too funny. But so cute. Anyway, I'm skipping around, but another one of my favorites was the Cliffs of Moher.
Yes.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. I would like to see that in person.
It looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I have a picture of myself from when we were on the Big Island at the very top the very northern part of the Big Island here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they're both like similar with the greenery and the gorgeous oceans and beaches and but it's so beautiful. It looked cold.
Did you get to see? I know we watch it. Like I stream mine, and then you watch. Do you watch yours on cable?
Yes.
So I don't know if we see the same commercials or anything, but did you get to see all the behind the scenes things?
Yeah.
During commercials? Yeah, that she talked about how breathtaking it was.
She said that she cried when she first saw it.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I can't even imagine that breathtaking that brings you to tears. So that, yeah, I'd love to see that in person.
I mean, he what's his name? Alan had said that usually when tourists like the pictures, the movie film does not do it justice on the beauty of the place.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine.
They bring that up in the movie too when she calls her boss, Mr. Crispin, and she says, he's like, I've seen pictures, and she's like, it's not the same. You need to be here.
Yeah.
Speaking of commercials, did you also see the Travelocity one?
No.
There was a Travelocity commercial, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, but he was like, want to visit the gnome for the Travelocity?
Yeah.
He was like, do you want to visit a castle in Ireland? Then get on Travelocity. It had like nothing to do with the movie except for that. Like he was sitting on a beach and he was like, if you want to go to a castle in Ireland, you just get Travelocity. And I was like, what did he just say? I was like, did they plan that?
You never know. They might have.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny because it had nothing. There was no promo for the movie, nothing except for like that was what he said in the commercial. He's sitting on a beach talking about finding good rates on Travelocity. But I thought it was so funny.
I should be like, while you're watching a movie about an Irish castle, let's talk about how to get to that Irish castle. Right.
Book on that Travelocity. I thought it was funny.
But anyway, so what's her name? Lindsey kind of like is falling in love with the place and does not and like doesn't want to tear down the castle. Eventually, doesn't want to do it. So she calls up Crispin. And it's like, hey, look, this is an opportunity. Well, actually, no, it was the couple, the ones who were getting married, right? Who gave her the idea because where they were staying at for the honeymoon was supposed to be a like combination of old and new.
Before that happens, she goes and asks if she could do another presentation.
Yeah,
because that happens after she asks for. So she goes and asks for a second presentation to the head of the council, and he takes her for a walk and says that we are possibly looking to sell because we do need the money, and so put up a proposal about selling points and things like that, and then he invites her along to the wedding.
Yeah
well,
I mean, Brennan was one of the people who was totally against selling the castle, but he also realizes that they don't have money to fix it. So sometimes selling it is the only option, even though you don't want to do it.
And that breaks my heart. Like, I understand it. I understand that you need the money. Your town needs to be run some way. But it also is heartbreaking to have to tear down this beautiful castle, Yeah,
you don't want to do that. But like I said, what other choice do you have?
Exactly. All right. So back to what you're saying at the wedding. She's at the.
Well, at the wedding, that's when she, was asking the couple, like, where you guys staying for honeymoon or whatever. And that's when she told them they're staying at this place that's sort of a combination of the old and the new. And that's when she got the idea of talking to Crispin about not tearing down the hotel. I mean, not tearing down the castle, but fixing it and then building onto it, sort of the combination of old and new. And I wish that they had done that. It sounds much better than tearing out this beautiful old place.
It It sounds great, but it's still heartbreaking to me to think of tearing even a piece of that down, because they'd still tear some of it down. They would just use like the entry and that areas and then build the hotel on the back. So it still breaks my heart, but I get it.
But so anyway, Chris has actually two places that he wanted to build a hotel. One was at Killabbey and one was in Dublin. But he was leaning towards Dublin. But because Lindsey persuaded him to come to Killabbey, he went to Killabbey instead to see the place, to see the hotel or whatever. And he actually enjoyed the matchmaking festival. They had really nice. It was like a big party on the last night of the matchmaking festival.
They fixed up the castle a little bit because it needed it, and they flirted some more during that. And his parents started to take notice that
I think the whole town took notice.
Yeah, definitely. That they were having a little flirty flirt.
God have mercy on Jesus. There was chemistry from the beginning. I think that
they had a ton of chemistry.
The turning point for me when he started seeing her and she started seeing him as like, oh, you're cute, was when she went behind the bar.
Yo, I loved that. When she helped at the bar. This is another thing that I loved about Don't Break in My Heart that I also love about this is I love that quippy nature when the relationship starts out where they're already like sarcastic and quippy towards each other, and you know what I mean? Not mean, but you know what I mean? A little
sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly. Not mean to each other. And I'm not, because, I don't like meanness, but I like that little quippy,
back and forth.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And I love this movie. There's so many good things about this movie.
I love the movie too. I thought it was great. I want more of this story.
I would love gonna be UK.
I would love another an addition to this one.
I know.
So they're at the party. And it's beautiful.
She presents him with this pitch on how to improve the castle and stuff like that, and he says no. He's like,
pretty much shoots it down immediately too. It's not like he barely hears her out, and she's really fighting for this, and he's like, this isn't what we're about. We don't do the past
restorations and stuff.
Yeah. And I understand that, like, that's a huge thing to just jump into if you've never done it before. You know what I mean? I kind of understand where he was coming from, because I know she worked hard on the pitch, but if it's never something you've done before in your company, it's a lot of money to just suddenly invest, especially right now. But so he pretty much says, nope, we're about building new properties, not about restoring old properties.
Yeah. So she ends up having to leave Ireland. It's just like sad, and I could tell her, and like I could tell Brennan was also pouting about it.
Yeah.
We do have to say though, she helped him out with his whiskey business, but
distillery.
Yeah, but talking to Aoife. See, Aoife.
Yeah, she does like a business plan for him, which he's not very open to.
Yeah, because he wants to stay small and local or whatever. So I'm sitting there going, Aoife is one of your neighbors, so how much smaller can you get?
Yeah, it's not like you're opening up a factory. It's just a little bigger of a distillery, so you can make a little bit more.
Yeah, you're selling your whiskey outside of the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. Yeah, and it's it can stay local because people can now visit the distillery as well and drink it there and make it a tourist.
It will go back to the community if there is like here's the thing. This is your like touristy thing is, you guys can have this beautiful whiskey made here or whatever.
And I'm sure because Elroy seems to be the one who convinces him to do this, because he tells him, like, sometimes you need to change. Sometimes you need to move forward. And that's when he does it. So I'm sure he pointed a lot of that out. Like, you're doing something for this community too, you know?
Yeah.
So. But
is Elroy like a mayor? I feel like he's the mayor of the town.
He's something. He's head to head of the town in some way. But yeah, he takes her advice and her business plan that she made for him, and he gets going on that distillery.
Yeah. And she goes back to New York, and she, goes back to her job, but she can't stop thinking about Ireland. She's wearing her grandmother's ring, the Clondalkin ring, and she sees that has JTK on it, which somehow or another is. I did see the connection to Killabbey. I didn't see like a JTK jewelry store sign throughout the movie or anything like that. But somehow or another, she knew that JTK meant Killabbey. I don't know. Was that mentioned any other part of the movie? And I
was just as confused, because when she saw it and she had this epiphany, I was like, what did she just have an epiphany about? I have no idea.
Like, when I was looking, I saw it saw the movie twice I'm thinking to myself, like, did I miss the JTK reference?
Yeah, I have no idea. I was just as confused, but I was like, okay.
But yeah, the JTK reference somehow or another went to Killabbey. And so she sat in the office and was like, I want to quit. I'm quitting. I quit. I'm done with this, because this isn't bringing her, like, she's not happy with this anymore. Like,
and she wants to be there for the entire
process,
to acquire it, help restore it. And she spoke about her degree earlier on, and about it's more in architecture and that, and so restoration is much more up her alley than acquisition ever should have been. But sometimes we get stuck in these positions that but
yeah, I loved it. So she goes back to Killabbey. It looks like it's been some time.
Yeah, it's been 3-4 months, 5 months. Because it's been 3 months since she quit, and I'm sure she had to have
find another job get the assignment to Ireland or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds closer to like a year later.
Maybe not a year, because I'm sure she was pretty high up in this place, and they'd already mentioned the new company with the restoration. At some point her friend was talking about it, so I'm sure it was just like, that's what I want to do. I'm sure it was more of a smooth transition, so I would say like 6-7 months.
But
went back.
So she goes back to Killabbey, and Alroy is there, and and Brennan walks in, and his face is just like, hi.
Yeah.
But anyway,
to see her.
Huh?
Shocked and happy and in awe to see her.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing here? So she tells him about the new company. And this is where I was confused at first. When she started talking about, my new company is here to restore the place or whatever. So I was thinking to myself, like, did she start a brand new company? Because she kept saying, my new company.
Yeah. Well, at first I had wondered that too. And I was like, where'd she get the money to do this? And then obviously it was a restoration company, but
yeah. But she kept saying my new company. So I'm like, did she start a brand new company? How long ago did she come to Killabbey?
In 6 years. It's been 6 years. And still, castle's still there, still not fixed up.
But anyway, so now the company that she works at is there to restore the castle and, do the thing that what Crispin didn't want to do at first. So did she ever say the name to the company that she worked at? I don't remember. It was all they said was
I think it was Crispin. I think it was like I think his name was also the company name. He was Mr. Crispin, and I think that.
No, I'm talking about the new company that she worked at.
Oh, the new company? No, that wasn't mentioned.
So, but now that the company is based in the UK, she can go see Brennan as often as
she will be overseeing this project, which could take very long time. So she'll be there probably for a while.
And she might end up staying forever.
Forever to run that castle. Let's hope in the next installment.
I just love this movie.
As love would have it, not as luck would have it.
Oh my god! There's so many things I love about this movie. Like,
the only thing I don't like is what we haven't said yet. Is then she says, the ring. They talk about the ring. Yeah. And she said she was wearing it wrong, and he says, "Oh, it says you're taken." And he says, "You're taken," and she says, "I hope so." And then he kisses her. That kiss was not good enough for me. That I don't know why, but it cut out right. They kiss, cut, and I was like, no. I wanted something a little more romantic about that final kiss. It was too quick for me, and that was my only downfall of this movie. The kiss was too quick.
But it was the ending of the movie. You only have 2 minutes left.
Right. They were we gotta go quickly. But yeah, it was very quick.
I can just hear the director going, come on.
Hurry up, kiss quickly. We gotta end this.
Oh my god. But yes, so yeah, that kiss wasn't as memorable as so many other moments of the movie.
Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. The whole movie was so good, and it was so well done and so well acted, and then this freaking kiss at the end was just almost anticlimactic for me. You know what I mean? Her showing up was more climactic to me than this kiss was. His face when he sees her in the castle was more climactic than the kiss for me.
They could have had fireworks at least. At the end of the party, how they had fireworks. They could have had fireworks blowing up.
Something, but yeah.
But you know what would have been? I honestly think that they should have made their reunion 1 year later at the next matchmaking festival.
Yeah,
I think that would have been more perfect if
Well, I mean, logically, I'm sure that they were trying to work on the castle before the matchmaking festival. Get the castle started renovating as quickly as possible so we can probably use the property.
Yeah, but I still think that would have been a missed opportunity if they had just redid it. Anyway, but yeah, that's about it for this movie. I give this movie 10 stars.
I'm trying to think what
all the stars in the world. This is so good.
So I'm so glad. Yeah, so I wrote I'm so glad they're saving the castle. It's just you think about castles in Ireland and that's what you want to see, right?
Yep.
So
I put on Instagram, it was I want to go to Ireland and meet a guy.
Yeah.
And make soda bread and go to Cliffs of Moher. This is what the movie is doing to me. I want to go to a matchmaking festival in Ireland right now.
Right. I mean, I don't want to go to a matchmaking festival. I want to go to some kind of festival.
Yeah.
I have a husband already. I'd love to go with my husband to some kind of fun
you
festival.
You can renew your vows at the matchmaking festival.
Exactly. We got 3 years until we've hit 10 years. We could go on our 10-year to Ireland.
Yeah, you got 3 years to save money.
Exactly. I would
get a babysitter for Asher. Asher.
In 3 years, he'll be 8, so he'll be able to handle us being gone for a week, But
he needs somebody to watch him unless you trust him.
Well, yeah, obviously. My sister will take him.
You're like, Asher, mommy and daddy are going to Ireland. Sorry.
You got this, right?
Here's the keys to the house. We'll be gone for like a week. You can take care of yourself.
Don't drive the car.
But yeah, oh my gosh, I've never been to Ireland. It's so beautiful. Like the movie,
it's gorgeous.
Definitely does. So anyway, yeah. Anything else that we missed about the movie?
I don't think so. I mean, we jumped around a bit, but I think we got it all.
Yeah. So next week we are reviewing right in front of me, starring Janelle Parrish and Michael Grazzini. That looks like a fun one.
This one, it looks really cute.
I know. But yeah, that one is about the girl is like a chef or something, and she has a high school crush, and the guy is kind of helping her out with setting him up. Okay, and so that's your last podcast, and for the next 2 weeks, there's no new Hallmark movies. So I've already picked out the 2 podcasts the 2 movies I'm going to be reviewing. And the first one that will be coming out on April 26th, it's a Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation starring Nikki DeLoach and Jeff Hefner. The movie is called Love Takes Flight. I've only seen it once, and it took my interest, and I'm like, oh, I got to watch this again. So, and then on May 3rd is a Love, Romance, and Chocolate starring Will Kemp and Lacey Chabert. That's the one where they went to Belgium and made chocolates and was part of a chocolate competition for a king or whatever. There's no news of what's going to be airing on May 10th or the second week of May. So I don't know what's going to go on that, because I know the Summer Nights movies start May 15th. That with the Lacey Chabert and Tyler Hines movie. Mm-hmm. So there's at least 3 weeks of no Hallmark movies, but we don't know yet what's on May 10th because there's no news of it. Anyway, to listen to us, you have Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Alexa, TuneIn, YouTube, pretty much anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, we're there. What is it? Buy Me a Coffee. We have a Buy Me a Coffee account. I just downloaded 2 new podcasts over there. That's the one where reviewed the first 2 movies of the One Winter Trilogy. So it's going to be One Winter Weekend and One Winter Proposal. Those 2 podcasts reviewing those 2 movies are on there, as well as we have the October Kiss one, which was done in March. Yeah, I think so. The minimum to listen to that podcast is like $3. So please go buy a coffee, buy a latte. Everything is on Linktree, so buymeacoffee.com/HMarkHeartbeats. Our Instagram is Hallmark Heartbeats. Our Facebook is Hallmark Heartbeats Podcast. And our Twitter is Hallmark Heartbeat1. And that's about it, I think. Yeah. Anything else, Britt? That's about it for us this week. On Thursday, we have the podcast release of our interview with Tedra Rogers. And until then, I am Camille.
I'm Brittany.
See y'all on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.